typically have people call ahead of time to sign up. And we had, I know Sally called ahead to sign up. Chris Ann Luria. All right. And are you all with Chris Ann? Are we talking about the same thing here?
Chris Ann.
Chris Ann, everybody. And we're talking about Central Park and what is MMC? 9 Mile Creek Corridor. That's what MMCC. I couldn't get past my acronym there for birds. Okay. Amanda, are you here? Amanda. And we're talking construction values with you. And then Dan Mahoney, I think. There's Dan. All right. So the way we usually do this, we have a half hour. And we usually look at the number of folks we have and kind of parse out the time based on the number of folks that we have. And so just based on what we have here, and everybody about, 5.5, 6 minutes. And the way we'll do this, we'll make it a conversation. It's a back and forth kind of thing. And we ask questions. We let you ask us questions. It makes it a conversation. So that's kind of the ground rules. And are we officially on board here?
Recording.
We are recording. So I'll officially call this listening session of the Bloomington City Council to order. As you come up to speak, if you could sign in, please, so we know who you are. And Sally, you're the first on my list. Why don't you come on up if you could?
Mayor, if somebody rings their hand, I don't know what that means.
You can
Unmute them in the corner.
Stand by, Sally.
Caller 952.
Caller 9524, last two digits 58. Did you have a question?
Well, I just wanted to make sure you knew I was on the line. If time's available, I'd like to speak.
Are you hoping to speak this week?
Yes.
Very good. We will do what we can to squeeze you in. How about that? We've got a full house and a full agenda so far, but we will try and parse you in. Is that okay?
Sure.
And sorry, what's your name?
Mike.
Mike. All right. Thanks, Mike.
Right.
All right.
That's what I think too.
So I'm here to get an understanding of our handicap policy here in Bloomington. I assume we follow the state statute. So, and regardless of, everyone should know the rules for handicap parking just because I assume you are all drivers. So can you go in, park in a handicap parking spot to just run in a package? You're all drivers, yes or no? Can you just stop in front of a handicap parking spot and run in something real quick?
No, Sally, you can't.
How about UPS? Can they? No?
Unless you're displaying a hang tag or a license plate, then no.
So there's no exception to this rule. It's kind of universal. If it's handicap, you have.
As far as I know, yes. Mm-hmm.
So why isn't the city doing anything about the Darrell Fruit building having buses blocking handicap parking?
I didn't know that was an issue, Sally. Have you, when you see that, have you called our police department on this one?
Okay. So, contacted as many people as I can. So you're clarifying they shouldn't be parking there?
They shouldn't be parking there. And I'm also clarifying, if you see something like that happening, instead of coming here and talking to us, which is fine, but what you should do is call 911 and say they're illegally parking in the handicap parking spots outside of Dar El-Farouk.
So that would be the same like when we call if somebody's parking in front of in front of a fire hydrant, we'd expect.
That is correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
And one response that we did get was we received a picture of a car in front of a handicap parking in front of a fire hydrant with their windows broken out, showing that don't worry about it. The fire department can still access that the fire hydrant. So I just want you to know that's a response that we received, and I believe it's inappropriate. When we call.
You received that from the fire department?
We received that from the fire department.
Oh, okay. I did not know that one. Okay.
Yeah. And from the other departments, when I've sent the pictures of the buses in front of,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I've sent it to environmental health. I've sent it to council. So.
And the council can't write tickets. Environmental health can't write tickets. If you call Bloomington Police, they will come out.
Okay.
And what they will do, as they always do, Sally, they'll work toward compliance. We don't like to automatically write a ticket. We'll try and get the buses to move. Our police do a good job with that, interacting with folks. And if necessary, they will write a citation.
So looking into it a little further, the parking lot was designed for the handicap parking to be on the south end. So buses are actually where they're supposed to be. The handicap parking's not where it's supposed to be. So now we're looking at planning, having not planning, engineering. What department, you know,
I don't
the-
know
the
who
plans-
turns out where the handicap parking spots go in each parking lot.
the
Sally.
plans show that the handicap's supposed to be on the south end. They constructed in front of the front door. They also put the handicap signs, they're supposed to be at a certain height and all equal across, and they've got different heights to them. And this I have sent to the city and no real response back, but now that I brought up to you, you will follow up, you will see. I mean, do I really need to call the police, or is it for you to say, hey, how come we've got buses parking where there's handicap? What happened to that parking lot? Was it designed correctly? Yeah, it was designed correctly. Was it
I'm not going to
constructed
speak to the design of the parking lot. I'm not going to speak to, I don't know how high the height of the signs should be. I have no idea on that. But I will say to you again, if you see somebody parked illegally, please call 911 and explain the situation to them.
And then about the city, the plans, you have to follow the plans. I mean, when you submit a plan, that's what you're supposed to construct it as.
And again, I haven't seen the plans. I have no idea what the
And I
plans say.
did I did send them to the city and, you know, all this
Yep.
information to the city. So I will resend it to all of you now that you know that. I mean, obviously the solution for me to call the police, that was why I was in the neighbor's driveway. When the police came up to me, you know, I was in their driveway. I was in the neighbor's driveway to record this. And that started that whole
Ah,
lawsuit
okay.
that I talked about last time.
Sure, I
So-
understand what you're saying.
Okay, so
Great.
you'll pay attention to the email now when I send it and delve into it, more than just me having to call the police.
We will, if there are issues with where the parking spaces are, if there are issues with the height of the signs, we will talk to the appropriate folks to address them. If there are somebody parked illegally, please call 911.
And if the parking lot's constructed not to.
I'm not going to talk to that, Sally. And you know what?
We
You
don't,
probably shouldn't either, because you don't know what how the parking lot should be constructed to plan or not either, Sally. You really don't.
no, just the data request shows that the parking,
And plans change sometimes, Sally.
right, but would our city really allow handicap parking, buses to be designed where handicap parking
I
is?
can't speak to the design of the.
Right,
parking lot.
so even if,
Yes, yes.
Uh,
So we got to wrap this up.
You started by asking about people just temporarily being in handicapped
Mhm.
spaces. What I'm hearing you say now is that the buses, when they're lined up, are blocking access to the spaces, which is different than actually being in the space themselves, right?
no, you're serious.
Thanks.
You cannot be, you
I am
cannot be
asking. I am
justifying what's
Not
going
justifying,
on.
I'm trying to ask for clarity of what you're saying.
Yes, they're blocking it, and then they're also blocking access. So you have to have access at all times. And so if you're trying to figure out, yeah, it was wrong. It's
Right.
designed,
Sally, we're at time. We've got
Okay.
a bunch of folks we got to get to. Thank you.
Let me just ask you a question. Where is she's talking about? I don't know if we all know. Is that-
I think she's talking about the Dar Al Farouk Community Center over on the east side. It's at 8801, 8201 Park Avenue.
Thank you.
Okay. Chris Ann? Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Bussey, council members, and fellow citizens of Bloomington. I am Chrisanne Loria, and I want to thank you for having me, for listening, and for prioritizing citizen input. Tonight, let's gather together to discover the connection between birds, Bloomington Park, and our community in preserving green space. Habitat fragmentation is for the birds, or not. Nestled amongst Bloomington's city streets, multi-story buildings, and bustling businesses is the heart of the city, 9 Mile Creek and Central Park. This green space is truly remarkable. It is designated as a Metro Conservation Corridor, an MBS area of biodiversity significance, and a registered natural area. Migrating, breeding, and resident birds thrive in this urban oasis, at least for now. This park is at risk, and depending on the City of Bloomington's park renewal plan, its birds may be at risk too. As you are all aware, the Park and Rec Department is considering a project that could add more pavement, wider paths, and boardwalks through the park and along the creek. This development would fragment critical bird habitats and exacerbate problems the park already faces due to urbanization, exotic and invasive species, climate change, and an impaired water body. Carving up this park to accommodate these alterations would involve removing beautiful canopy trees and native vegetation, widening and straightening paths, installing boardwalks, and more hot pavement. Maintaining a cool and shaded habitat for birds is essential. Bloomington already experiences significant higher temperatures than surrounding rural areas. It's an urban heat island. We know that. Birds have limited options for escaping the heat. Increased temperatures cause heat exhaustion, asphalt burns, decreased food supplies, and bird deaths. This park is the only urban green space east of Penn Avenue that supplies inhabitants with cooler summer temperatures. Loss of canopy and additional black services will be detrimental to birds and other wildlife who rely on this space for survival. This park is critical for migrating and breeding birds. Twice a year, bird watchers, some of whom are here tonight, can see buffleheads and yellow rump warblers, as well as hooded mergansers, blue-winged teal, red stars, and prothonotary warblers, to whom the forested wetland is vital for breeding. Every spring and fall, the skies above Bloomington are filled with the flight of neotropical birds. They fly all night, and when daylight breaks, they land in search of a safe place to rest, nest, and find food. Some people are lucky to be privy to their astonishing courtship rituals. Gallant struts, dives, wing flaps, head nods, and dances keep credence to this park being the heart of Bloomington. Yes, Central Park and 9 Mile Creek are perfect hosts, providing a haven for these feathered travelers during their long and arduous journey from as far as Central and South America. The floodplain forest is also home to year-round resident wood ducks, bald eagles, belted kingfishers, red-bellied and pileated woodpeckers, who can be heard year-round. Towering cottonwood and mature silver maple trees also provide shelter for barred owls and songbirds, as well as nesting grounds for colonial waterbirds, including egrets and great blue heron. These vibrantly colored birds and their symphonic melodies add to the park's natural beauty. Yet, these birds are not just beautiful creatures. They are crucial for people and our planet. They act as pollinators, helping plants grow and reproduce. Birds disperse seeds, promoting plant diversity and supporting ecosystems. They control disease-causing pests, such as insects and rodents. In addition, birds bring in tourists and contribute to the economy by providing opportunities for ecotourism, such as birdwatching. Loss of habitat is one of many concerns Bloomington residents and visitors have with the proposed park plan. This is why a passionate group of locals formed a grassroots community organization known as Restore the Nine. We aim to promote and advocate for an alternative vision for the Park and Creek corridor. Our vision is for Central Park and 9 Mile Creek to become an environmentally sustainable urban oasis where protecting and restoring its land, water, and native plants and animals are top priorities. Our vision includes a taxpayer-funded renewal project to restore the 9. Our 9 recommendations to prevent and repair habitat degradation are: remove invasive species through mechanical and chemical methods and biological agents. Implement methods to hinder buckthorn and enhance the native habitat. Convert areas dominated by box elders to high-quality forest canopies, forest trees capable of a continuous canopy. Protect, plant, and facilitate the growth of oak trees and saplings on the ridges and savanna areas to improve the habitat for forest nesting songbirds, to stabilize the slopes, and to prevent sediment erosion into the creek. Promote and restore high-quality forest canopies and the floodplain forest to support breeding populations of forest and canopy birds. Maintain large diameter trees for wildlife habitat. Avoid unnecessary native tree removal. Avert widening trails, straightening trails, constructing boardwalks, and adding more pavement. And number 9, avoid removing and replacing expensive bridges that are not deemed obsolete.
Chrisanne, we're well over time right now. Can you wrap up?
I was given 10 minutes, so I'm just going to finish. I'm almost.
I don't know who gave you 10 minutes because we talked about this as we started here, trying to make sure everybody has
Pedestrian
time.
trail for Bloomington citizens and visitors to connect with nature, enhancing their well-being. Our broader vision for this Bloomington Park is to serve as a model of environmental stewardship for other urban communities, leaving a legacy of sustainable practices for future generations. Protecting and restoring this habitat is the responsible and sensible thing to do for the planet, for humans, and for the birds. Carving up Central Park and the 9 Mile Creek corridor would be ridiculous and foolish.
Chrisanne, I'm going to cut you off.
So yes,
That's a good ending.
habitat fragmentation.
Chrisanne, please be
is for
respectful.
The birds.
Please be respectful.
Or not. Excuse me, Mayor Bussey, but when I called and made this appointment, I had an email response that said I would get 10 minutes to talk. I taped this multiple times and it was 9 minutes, so I asked you to be respectful of my time as well as yours.
I'm being respectful of everybody.
No, you're not. You cut me off when I was told I get 10 minutes.
Did you hear what my instructions when we started?
I don't care.
Really?
No, I don't care because when I planned this, it was based on what I was told.
Thank you for your input. We appreciate it.
You
Thank
are welcome.
And we're going to go on to our next speaker now, who's been waiting patiently. Amanda?
Good evening, Mayor Bussey and council members.
You can have a seat if you'd like.
Thank you. Thank you for providing me the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Amanda Heiser, and I am a representative of the North Central States Regional Council of Carpenters. We represent 27,000 construction workers across the upper Midwest, many who live here in Bloomington. I would like to thank this council for the work that you have already done to educate yourself on construction misclassification, wage theft, tax fraud, labor exploitation, and human trafficking. And we really appreciate that this council has been holding discussion around these issues. Our cities can review and approve sketch plans, determine whether a building's appearance fits the surrounding neighborhood, and determine if the appropriate infrastructure will be available to it, etc., all of which is important. However, what about the things that are not so apparent? When is the appropriate time to factor in not simply the nuts and bolts cost, but the human cost of construction in our cities? We know that Bloomington is a city that cares, and so we ask you to continue to have the discussion regarding the values of construction in your city. We also ask that regardless of whichever developer is before you, that you always ask the question of what they themselves are doing to ensure that their chosen general contractors and its subcontractors have preventative measures in place to deter construction misclassification, wage theft, tax fraud, and labor exploitation on their work sites. It is especially important to ask these questions when multi-unit developments are before you. These are large footprint buildings that can be framed in wood and thus are still ripe to create an environment potential for exploitation. Once again, we appreciate that the Bloomington mayor, city council, and staff have been educating themselves about the problems our construction industry faces. The North Central States Regional Council of Carpenters has been working on these issues for over a decade. We welcome cities, developers, general contractors, and subcontractors to join us in creating safe, equitable work sites free from exploitation. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Also, any questions?
I do have a question, if I may.
Please.
Mr. Mayor, thanks for being here today, Amanda.
Absolutely.
One of the constraints that we often face as council is that if it's a private enterprise deal, right, that we don't necessarily we're not necessarily privy to the contract, subcontract information about that. And so when we have the main individual, general contractor in front of us, we can ask those questions. I guess what I would like to know is, and maybe city manager, you know the answer to this, there's no explicit requirement for reporting at the subcontractor level to us on those programs necessarily, if I understand correctly. And if there isn't, should there be, I guess is an open question. Do we from a policy perspective, have the opportunity to say, okay, we have this relationship with the general contractor because we approve the plans. Beyond that, though, is there provisions that we can implement from a policy perspective that would support the subcontractor level things? So I don't know what we have available to us, or what do you think are the options we have?
Mr. Mayor, council members, Councilmember D'Alessandro, the answer is no, we don't have requirement for that kind of reporting. I think one of the policy considerations the council might want to make is what impact that has on the amount of reporting and monitoring and everything that would have to go along with it. So that's both a staff resource issue. It's also an impact on developers too, right? With their contractors and subcontractors having to do quite a bit of additional reporting. And that may have an effect on how people view Bloomington as a place to do business, right? And so the ability to have a broad field of contractors that may want to work here with those types of reporting requirements that I don't think exist in most other cities, could be an issue. That's just off the top of my head. There may be more to explore, but I think those are the kinds of questions to ask.
Yeah, okay, great.
I know Thomas Tice will be very quick, but I believe that we had a conversation about this and have directed staff to look into some of these issues further, and there'll be more information coming back to council.
In March.
Accurate in that?
In March, yep.
March.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Thanks
Thanks much. Thanks for your question.
Yeah, just want to get done.
All right, Dan.
Good evening.
Good evening, welcome.
Want to talk about garbage pickup today, so nothing, something kind of personal. Had another missed pickup on Friday. Not my fault, the cans were out. I called the city today, they said, Waste Management said the cans weren't out. They had a picture to prove it. The city said, send us a picture. They sent the picture, it wasn't my house. So they're lying or they're mistaken. So it's my understanding and I've been late occasionally on my bill. I get a late fee for not paying my utility bill on time. But we have no recourse when the services the city contracts for are not performed on time or at all. Waste Management came and said they're not going to pick up my garbage till Friday because it was my fault. Well, it wasn't. It was out. I sent an email at 2:42 today to Sean Nelson and included all of you in the email, walking you through all the steps and how I'm sure that I'm in the right here. And the picture of someone else's house, not mine. So I live at 9610 Yukon Circle. It is a cul-de-sac, so I don't know if that contributes to the problem or what, but we must have some kind of recourse here. It's just not right that we're charged for being late and haulers have no responsibility.
And you're right, and they do have responsibility, and because they should pick it up. So when is your typical pickup date?
Well, here's another issue. It's Friday. So that means if it's missed, it's not picked up till Sunday or Monday.
Till Monday. Mm-hmm.
So they've missed our entire neighborhood before. Now you've got garbage cans sitting on the curb for 3 days waiting to get picked up. It's an eyesore.
So when
I hate to be trying to sell a house on a weekend open house in that environment.
So when you get missed, please do call.
I do.
And yeah, please do, because we count those and those add up in terms of how we deal with then the hauler and in terms of recourse that we have with the hauler in terms of fines, basically, financial impacts to them. So please do that. I agree, you know, the Friday to Monday is kind of a hassle, but I agree that, and sometimes I have seen, like when I've been missed in the past, call early enough in the day and they get back out that same day. And I mean, that's a possibility too. Sean?
If I might, Mayor, I
Please.
thought in the last contract, and this was one of the things that the council thought was very important, is they now have Saturday pickup if they miss on Friday. That was in the last contract. So if they're telling you that they can't pick it up again until then, that is just, from my understanding of the new contract, inaccurate.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what we did. 'Cause we, yeah,
It
should be in there.
Sean, remember again, correctly, I don't recall. Yeah, okay, so yeah, so.
it
I
should-
haven't said
It
no.
should be Saturday. If you have problems with that, I apologize that I didn't get that email until late today. But that is why we fought for that. There are penalties for haulers for missing entire streets.
Yeah.
Cumulative things like that. They do not candidly go back
But
to.
what's my recourse?
Yeah, I agree.
Anger? I mean, that seems to be about it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to the city employee that I was forceful with today. I understand he's not the guy responsible, but somebody's responsible. And the recourse to be effective has to be swift and certain. It can't be somewhere down the road where it gets swept under the rug in a bigger negotiation of some sort.
Well, and then they need to correct their mistake. I mean, yeah, and if they're back within 24 hours to correct their mistake, that's what they need to do.
And again, I said in the email, and this will be the last thing, I am totally ambivalent towards organized pickup. If the city can do it well, cheaper, better, I'm all for it. Okay. However, I don't like the fact that we have no recourse.
I appreciate that.
That's all.
Thank you.
No, and I'm glad you came in. I want to encourage you to continue, if you hear any of these types of things, to call in, because this is one, we wanted to get it down to the individual level. And every time we get folks to call in about this, it's very important. So I appreciate you calling in. And yes, I hope when we get to this next contract that we can deal with that, because I've been missed too, and I'm in a cul-de-sac as well. And I've had other people in my district that have been missed as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in,
Yeah, I
Dan.
said the hassle at 2:42 today.
Got it.
Right. Mike, are you still on the phone with us? You on mute him?
He's just muted. There you go.
Mike, are you still on the phone with us?
Yes, I am.
The floor is yours. I'm sorry, we're kind of cutting you close here, but the floor is yours for a couple minutes here. How can we help you tonight?
Oh, I was just,
Just
maybe
your
I'll
first and
just leave
last name,
first.
please.
My name is Mike List, and I'd stopped in a couple times last summer and last fall to discuss some of the things that are going on and with one of the facilities to the back of my residence.
Yep.
I received some information from the city manager, but I was just going to follow up with some conversations in reference to that. I'm not sure that I've got enough time to really give it what it, the time that may be required. So I will just call in next session.
And if you could call in or come on in and we'll get you, how about if we get you on the list now, we'll put you first for our next meeting. We'll put you first for our next listening session meeting. Would that be okay?
Sure. Sounds great.
Pardon?
February 26th.
February 26th.
2 weeks.
2 weeks out.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Sounds good. Thanks. 26th, I believe.
Yes.
President's Day, Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
All right. Councilmember?
Yeah, Mayor, if I might, we have a bunch of people who are interested in Nine Mile Creek and birding and things like that. And just so you know, later on our agenda tonight, we're actually talking about trees, the tree canopy, about the entire community. So if you're interested, I encourage you to spend a few hours with us. I have no idea what time we'll get to it. But we are very seriously looking at that Obviously, 9 Mile is an amazing place. We all recognize that. And I think everything I heard tonight is consistent with when the council put this before the community. What we're looking to do is to do natural park restoration there to maintain that as a special place in our community. I think that's consistent with what we were looking to do and what our Park and Rec and everyone else is looking to do in that area. But we're looking to do that elsewhere in the community too. We recognize we need to work on and improve that tree canopy. And so we're getting a little bit of a start on that tonight and talking about it. So thank you for coming. This is great.
Yep. And with each of our 3 projects that were approved by voters in November, we said there's going to be extensive community input on it. Now, probably less so on Bloomington Ice Garden because, you know, we have to replace the roof, and I don't know if anybody's got any input on how we replace the roof. But for the Health and Wellness Center and for the work in the 9 Mile Creek corridor, this is exactly the kind of thing we want. We want the ongoing discussion. There'll be opportunities for open houses, community engagement back and forth, just basically getting the feedback from residents as to exactly what and how we do the work down there and what and how we do the work with the Health and Wellness Center as well. Yeah.
You know when those community engagement sessions might start?
Very soon, I
I
think.
don't have them scheduled yet, but
We don't have them scheduled yet, but we were aiming for the first quarter here of 2024. So we'll get to those very soon because,
Excuse me, they'll be posted on the.
Oh, heavens, yes.
website and
oh heavens, yes. Yep.
Is Bloomington Forward still active or is it?
Yeah.
yes, it is. Actually, we just relaunched it with more updated information that's specific to the projects.
So you have separate meetings for like, say, the Creekside updates?
Yeah.
That'll be one topic and then a different event. Good.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah, no, we won't lump those together. That's correct. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Looking forward.
Yep. All right, we're a minute over. We've got to get downstairs and start our meeting here at the bottom of the hour. Council, I look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you much for being here tonight, all. I appreciate it.
Yeah. See what we're trying to do.
Trying to convince them.
I don't understand that either. And I don't understand what that would.